Hey, it's James, the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country. Welcome you to the channel. I'm so glad you could be here. Um, I thought I'd be a little bit happier than I am right now. I just finished my final paper for my uh, first class, my PhD program. One down. I think I got like 11 to go. Hoping that my history stuff from my seminary will count. My church history, I can use those as electives. But we'll see. But we're here to talk about sports. And obviously, the Oklahoma State game, I was very happy about that. I'll give more thoughts about that here in a minute. Was pretty happy about the Texas game. And it's not, oh, by the way, he's fixed. The Longhorn, glued the horns back on. And yes, Pistol Pete is fixed. His head is back on. So, but no, I'm happy about the Texas OU game because they did what I suggested they should do. So anyway, let's go through the list. Friday, Houston was at Memphis. I picked Memphis because I was told, well, things are starting to fall apart for, the lighting's a little off. Let me fix this. I normally wouldn't do this during a video, but I want everything to look good for you guys, so that's better. Basically, the internet was a muck with, things are falling apart at Houston and the players don't want to play for Dana Holgorsen, and that's just... there might be some infighting, but they got it together on Friday because Houston won. So good for them. Bad for me because I picked Memphis. I did pick TCU over KU, and I am still happy for Kansas. I'm glad that they're 5-1. Heck, they only have to get one more win. They're going to go to a bowl game. So my hope is that they'll beat somebody else besides Oklahoma State. And they'll get to a bowl game, and they'll have a lot of fun. I think it'd be really cool. San Antonio's really nice. You know, the Alamo Bowl would be a good game for them if they can win enough games to do that. Texas OU. I'm surprised at how much the margin of victory, but I'm not surprised that Texas won because Texas finally got it in their head. Heck, they just have Bijan Robinson. I forgot the name of their second-string running back, but he's very good too. And so when you have a 1-2 punch like Texas has, run the football and then play action pass. Here, let me turn this off so that way it doesn't distract us. So Texas is going to be dangerous. If they continue to run the football as well as they are and play good defense, they're going to be a contender for the Big 12. Thankfully, Texas is at Oklahoma State at the end of this month for homecoming, and that game is sold out, so I ain't going to be going. I did pick Cincinnati over USF. Obviously, Cincinnati's coming into the Big 12, so now I said Oklahoma State 45, Tech 35. The final score was 41-31. So still there was a 10-point margin of victory, which I nailed it. I'm pretty happy about that. The thing I'm not happy about is this. And it's weird because I made a comment on YouTube on somebody else's... no, it was on Twitter. And, of course, the response was, well, the receivers were fighting back just as much. And look, Texas Tech's defensive backs, their corners, their safeties, they were cheating the entire game. And it's really stupid that the Big 12 allows this kind of nonsense. Look, if you're a safety or you're a defensive back and you're running towards the receiver and you're not looking for the ball, it should be pass interference. Now, if you're turn around and here's the receiver and you're the defender and you're actively trying to get the football and you're looking for the ball, you have just as much right to be there as a defender as the as the receiver does. I get that. But in my mind, Texas Tech was cheating. I'll get back to, we're almost midway through the season, so I want to give you some more thoughts at the end. I had Utah beating UCLA. Chip Kelly is for real, and his Bruins have proved it. So I was wrong on that one. I was also wrong on the BYU versus Notre Dame game. I mean, this is the same Notre Dame team that lost to Marshall. And I saw BYU. I've seen BYU in person. I know they've got a good quarterback. So I don't know what happened, but unfortunately, I didn't even get to see the game. I'd like to maybe watch it later on tonight or tomorrow. But, well, obviously Notre Dame has got to fight just because they want to get to a bowl. So West Virginia and Baylor had a bye. UCF had a bye. Of course, they played Wednesday, and technically that game was a Week 5 game. It got moved to Week 6, but I've already counted that in my Week 5 scores. And Alabama barely beat A&M. I knew it was going to be a tough game just because this has turned into a rivalry of sorts. So good job A&M for showing up and playing hard. But it wouldn't have been it. It wouldn't have been that close had Bryce Young played. So I was only 5-3 this week. That puts me at a total of 33-15. It's 68.75%. So I'm doing okay this year. I don't like the fact that I dipped below 70% on my picks. So let me put this on my desk. Hold on. How do I feel right now about the Oklahoma State Cowboys? Any good coach, and I'm trying to put my coach's hat on, will tell you that you have to run the offense based upon the player personnel that you have. Last year, they ran the football more because they had Jalen Warren, had a decent offensive line. What concerns me is that there was not one but two offensive linemen for Oklahoma State to go down. I'm hoping those are not long-term injuries. In my mind, I know on one of them in particular, it looked like the Texas Tech player fell into the offensive lineman from Oklahoma State. That it looked intentional. So I don't like that at all. The holding by the Texas Tech defensive backs. Of course, when you do all that, it leaves the field open for Spencer Sanders to take off and run the football. And that's exactly what he did. So what bothers me, and they tried it once, and it didn't work, but I hope they don't go away from it, because there was a point in the fourth quarter, they did a play action pass, they threw it to a Cowboy back, and he dropped it. The play was wide open. You need to get these guys, work them into practice or something. But Oklahoma State has a history of good tight ends. And for some reason, we've gotten away from that. We need to get back to it. So I'm happy. If I was a coach, I would actually be happy about the results of what happened, because I think Texas Tech gives you enough. I think that game gives you enough film to where you can pull your players aside and say, yeah, we're undefeated so far, but we're not nearly as good as we were last year, and we need to fix this stuff now. And so you've got to enough there to get your players, keep their attention, and get them to wake up to the fact that, just because you have OSU or Cowboys on the side of your helmet That doesn't mean you're going to just automatically win. You got to fight and scrape for every game. And that's the way it's going to be the next 7 weeks. Now, I'm going to be in Fort Worth Saturday. I'm going to be there. Thankfully, my big assignment is done. I don't have to worry about schoolwork or anything like that. It's going to be a tough game. Beginning of the year, I thought TCU would drop off just because I thought Max Duggan was gone. He's not. He's still there, and he is a fighter, and he is scrappy, and he's a lot like Spencer Sanders, and he will take off with the football if all of his receivers are covered. So we have to keep that in mind come Saturday. So I want to see the highlights of the TCU KU game before I make a prediction, but I'll do that later this week. But ultimately, as an OSU fan, I'm happy, but there is areas of concern that need to be addressed. Now, Mike Gundy's been doing this for a while now. I love the fact that he is the longest tenured coach in the Big 12. He's more than just a man, and he's more than just 40, and he's 50 now plus. And with age comes maturity, and that's the kind of thing that's going to help him against TCU. I will say in the long run, looking in the future, obviously KU is playing better than they have in a long time. Kansas State's pretty good. They've got a good mobile quarterback in Martinez. Texas looks really good as long as they continue to run the football and then play action pass off of that. OU is in a free-for-all. I just feel bad for Brett Venables. But they get Dylan, I forgot his last name, but if they get their quarterback back, their starting quarterback, once he returns, OU is a legitimate threat and can beat anybody on Saturday. So Iowa State's decent. They've got a young quarterback with a really good arm, and don't count out West Virginia. Their defense is suspect, but their offense is pretty good. So we got a long season ahead of us. Remember what I said in the video about the flow of the season. If you're an Oklahoma State fan, pay attention. You start off with getting bowl eligible. A win against TCU will put the Cowboys at 6-0. That'll take care of that. Then you can focus on trying to win the Big 12 and get to the Big 12 championship game. You don't have to be perfect to get to the Big 12 championship game. What you need is to at least finish 11-1. So if we beat TCU, which is not going to be easy, it's not. And by the way, I'll do a video inside of the stadium. You got to win at least 5 of the next 6. If you can do that, you'll get to the Big 12 championship game. And right now, to me, it looks like I thought it was going to be Baylor, but honestly, with that new quarterback at Texas Tech, it could be Tech, it could be Kansas State, it could be Texas. Who knows? If Tech slips up again and loses 2, it could take them out of it. Who knows? But right now I feel pretty good, but I think next week I'll get a much better feel as far as how Oklahoma State is doing. So, and I'll do a video inside of Ammon Carter. And I will also do a video of the outside of SMU Stadium, because the following week I'm going to see SMU play Cincinnati. So, but we'll talk about that more later. If you're new here, please hit like and subscribe. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, everybody who is a subscriber. Please hit like and subscribe and share with your friends, trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So until tomorrow, have a great night.